Good afternoon on what is a mild, bright and blustery day. It is Friday, February the 3rd, and I have a nice hot cup of tea and a cat who is not ours, and of course a parcel to unbox. And it's this one, so let's get to it. Let's get the knife. Which end has been sealed. It's a little difficult to tell on this parcel. I have to be quite radical here and just cut my way in. Right. Oh. Okay, pulling this out. What I have is a copy of Snakepipe Hollow, RuneQuest scenario by Craig Stafford and Rudy Craft. This is the scenario. I can't remember what SP stands for, but it's a 6 in the series, eventually part of the series of supplements that Chaosium in the early days produced for RuneQuest, like Apple Lane and like the bestiaries of mercenaries and militia and ballistors, barracks and things like that. But this is Snakepipe Hollow, which is an infamous location in northern Sartar in Glorantha, a chaos-infested valley. So, in the God Time, before time began, Snakepipe Hollow was wrought as a trap for the forces of chaos, where the howling, gibbering army was broken by the mortal beings of faith in life, and a remnant left pocketed below the earth, concealed from the scorching sun. Occasionally, for chaos knows no rhythm, the subterranean cells and caverns spawn or summon monstrous things. Oh, and it's SP scenario pack. Snakepipe Hollow is a large and flexible RuneQuest scenario pack designed to supply dozens of adventures. We see for a band of adventurers. 8 starting points supply different motives and rationales for adventure, as well as necessary non-player statistics. A wilderness encounter section provides background data, a map of the Hollow, MP stats for various variety of individuals and parties roaming in or passing through the area, and extensive notes on the intent or motivation of the beings. So, the underground adventures are divided into 3 interlocking lengthy caverns, each of which will require more than one exhibition to thoroughly explore. The halls and courts of this great complex are presented in a uniquely structured fashion, which allows referees to reveal major and minor details separately without misplaced emphasis, depending on how the players place their activities. Each element possibly existing in an area is always presented in the same sequence and clearly identified, so that the maximum use may be gotten from the material. The scenario is built for parties of mixed abilities. Rune Lords and beginning characters can be included in the same group without difficulty, and everyone will be of value to meet the challenges to reason and existence. These adventures are frequently more aided by wit than flashing swords, though there is enough of that, and the rewards for risks are often more long-term and subtle than simple loot. Players will be shown beauty as well as barbarity, and they will encounter role-playing of more realism and quality than possibly before. Snakepipe Hollow is a typeset saddle stitch to lay flat whilst in use 8.5 times 11 inch with 48 interior pages and colour cover. There's an introduction of 4 major sections and over 140 NPC statistics included. So there we go. That's quite a lengthy blurb on the back. Yeah, it basically really does go about selling it. So you'll recognise this image from the earlier Staffordshire House campaign supplement, which I unboxed a while ago. Used there, and then we get inside. And this is not in the best condition. The basic cover is coming off, but it is, I think, an early edition. It's 1979. So we've got the introduction there. And there we have a map of the Snakepipe Hollow itself. Fairly simple valley, but you know, the location of multiple expeditions and so on. So, and what we've got is a section on common knowledge, and then the scenarios begin there. You know, doing a job for the smith, fossils for Alankor my priest, for search, rescue, ally a spirit, troll adventures, dragon adventures, make up your own. So yes, 8 starting points. These are they get a little thinner as you go along there, I would suggest. But nevertheless, you have the associated NPCs there. So you've got a blacksmith and an alchemist. The Alankor Mai, and then we have the wilderness adventure. There are counter charts and so on. You've got chances to meet. You've got location charts for basically for both Snakepipe Hollow and above the cliffs, above the cliffs of Chaos. Then you've got different things you might meet: giants, small snakes, Mortapi, which are the weird octopus-headed humanoids. The left clawed hand. Oh, sorry about that. Cat's just put his weight on the table. Party of ogres. And ogres tend to feature in RuneQuest as interlopers into human society. You know, they look human in the main, but they are chaos creatures nonetheless. We've got a dragon newt party as well, party of tusk riders, so on. So there's party of trolls. So lots of different groups that the player characters can run into. Party of humans. And then we get onto the Chaos Caves, and these are, you know, the Chaos Caves is the idea. I mean, you think 1979 is actually the same, more or less the same year as B2 Keep on the Borderlands came out, and that had its own Caves of Chaos, which are an entirely different thing. You know, the Chaos in RuneQuest and Glorantha is much more of a primal force. So we've got a list of objects, basically found objects, rock strata. I've got RuneQuest character sheet. You should see how plain that is back from back in the day. Sorry, the cat's on the table, so it's he is rocking it very well. And then we get onto the actual descriptions of the caves themselves. So here's the outer section. Oh, and he's gone. Didn't quite spill my cup of tea, but he did add an element of chaos to this video on the table. So yes, a complete description of the outer caves going through. This section is loose, unfortunately. It's all there, but these things happen through age. So you've got all the descriptions of the various monsters and things that the player character will encounter. And there's including an ogre ancestral spirit, then dragon snails. It is lightly illustrated, but you've got this classic image of a dragon snail. And then giant snakes as well, before we get into the inner caves. And these do kind of hark back to the idea that the rainbow mounds, the caves there, which are inhabited, unoccupied. The interesting thing there with that essentially is that it is RuneQuest's first dungeon in effect, but it's done in a naturalistic style, you know, rather than the sort of the dungeoneering nature of Dungeons and Dragons with its worked complexes down below, obviously and clearly inspired by Tolkien's Moria. So yeah, further descriptions of the various locations, and these aren't you know, there's not necessarily much to see, but you've got a wealth of detail in these pages. All the way through, so you encounter 10 some scorpion men, even a Ve'ilth, an intelligent at Rune Lord, the Cult of Malia. Yeah, quite a horrible thing. All the guards. And then Cave Section 3, the Deep Temple and the Wormhole. And this is really deep into sort of like the pit of chaos. You know, right down to the point at the bottom there, you have the exit to the void itself. So, yeah. So, like a lot of course, the RuneQuest content is that it is possible to run this content using the latest iteration of RuneQuest role-playing in Glorantha, with some adaptation. You know, because a lot of the details of the rules have changed, but it's still perfectly possible, basically. But the big thing about a RuneQuest scenario is that, you know, when you are dealing with lots of stats, you know, enemy stats, they all need, and the majority of them need statting up, and that's a lot of details for which the game master needs to keep on track of. So, you know, there's quite a bit here to work through. And so here we've got finally a map of the Kingdom of Sartar, as taken from Greg Stafford's game White Bear Red Moon. So you can see, you know, the relationship between where Snakepipe Hollow is in relationship to the rest of Sartar, and it's kind of focused down here in RuneQuest roleplaying. It is on Apple Lane and its environments essentially, and the city of Clearwine, and moving outwards to other areas. And finally, we have a full list of products at the back, which would have been on sale in 1979. So yeah, that's Snakepipe Hollow. It's not a scenario I've ever played or run, so I'm going to be interested to dig into this and find out just how foul it is. I'm going to look forward to reviewing this and probably adding it to my RuneQuest role-playing Glorantha campaign in the near future. Anyway, thanks for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, then please do click on the like button down below, and of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post that. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a package containing a book or game which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge in roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice cup of tea, then please do hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. Be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.